All right, what is going on, Laker fans? Thank you very much for tuning in to the post-game show here. Appreciate you guys being a part of the show. All right, well, that sucked. I actually really thought Lakers were going to win the game. When they went to OT, I thought that they're in good shape. They'll be all good. Everything's going to work out. De'Aaron Fox is playing on a bummed ankle. Domantas Sabonis fouls out. I thought the Lakers were going to win that game. It was a missed opportunity, to say the least. But is what it is. We're going to break it down. I'll do my best to get into all the topics, the storylines of the game, and then, obviously read your guys' comments throughout. Lakers lose final score 132 to 127 in OT. So the Kings obviously get their second win of the season. Lakers suffer their second loss of the season. Okay, let me read just to kind of start off some comments here. I'll get into some of the comments and then I'll go from there. Couple of the comments here. Matt Kearns, disappointed. I'm with you, brother. I think that's. I think we're going to get a lot of that. By the way, I think there's going to be a lot of Laker fans that are just probably annoyed, disappointed, missed opportunity. Lakers had their chances, and I give them credit for coming back. But at the same time, man, I cannot stand how this team digs themselves a hole. That seems to be one of the things that the Lakers, at least so far to start the season, have done on a consistent basis all year through the first three games. Okay, let me get to more of these comments here real quick. We don't have a defense nor a closer. Okay. We should have kept Rui and Reeves in the game. I'm with you on Rui. I'm not with you with Reeves. I'll get into some of the rotations. I actually just listened. So on purpose, I was waiting for Darvin Ham to do his thing and to just kind of take a listen to what he was saying. And he mentioned the rotations, that he's trying to figure out the rotations. Okay, let's see what else we got here. Pale Fox, Braun and AD probably off tomorrow. You're not wrong on that one. Well, at least I don't think you're wrong on the LeBron James part of it. Okay, one more comments here, and then I'm going to start getting into everything else. By the way, just a quick reminder. I'll do my best to get to the comments and to the chat here. If you do throw a super comment or a super chat, 100%, I'll get to it. Don't feel obligated to do it, but just so you know, if there's a super chat on there, I'm 100% going to get to it. Okay. No Christian Wood in overtime is a crime. All right, let me just get into the game, and I'm gonna take it from here, and then I think I'll come back to the comments because I know they're gonna be there as we go along. Put up the score here, and let's get started. Okay, so couple observations here real quick. The one thing that's just killing me watching this team so far, they're giving up so many points in the first quarter, and they're getting outplayed in the first 12 minutes or so, and then having a come back the entire time, the entire way. So I'll give you an example for tonight's game against the Kings. 41 points for the Sacramento Kings in that first quarter. So before you blink, Lakers are down 13 in the first quarter. So now they got to come back. By the time they get to halftime, they are able to, it's still, I think, 11 by the time it was halftime. And then really where they started making their push was in that third quarter. Defensively, they got a lot better as the game went on, but that's 3 straight games. They played the Denver Nuggets. Against Denver, they were down 14 by the time the first quarter was done. Against the Phoenix Suns, they were down 12 by the time the first quarter was done, and now down 13 tonight by the time the first quarter was done. I mean, geez, can they at least put themselves in any position where they're not having to climb back the entire way? And in the first 3 games, the answer is no. So that part's really, really frustrating watching this team, is how much they're digging themselves a hole. Lakers ended up shooting about 44% from the field, 3-point shooting, 33% for the Lakers, which is actually better than they've been shooting. So they've been averaging 29 threes a game in the first 2 games and had the league's worst percentage from 3, which I think was around 26% from the 3-point line. Sacramento shot 35% from 3. Hated in the beginning. Lakers were missing so many free throws to start that game. They ended up missing 8, shot 76%. Sacramento was bad from the free throw line as well, 17 of 24. I think I saw second chance points. I want to say Sacramento had 20 of them. We're getting some offensive rebounds. Overall, both teams pretty clean in turnovers, especially that the game went into overtime. 12 turnovers for the Lakers, 10 for the Sacramento Kings, and then points in the paint. Give it to the other side. 56-44, Lakers got outscored. Lakers' biggest lead was 5. Sacramento had a 15-point lead on the Lake Show. So overall thoughts on the game, and I'm probably going to continue to emphasize this. Stop digging yourself such a hole and trying to climb out of these holes. It's not good basketball, and you're going up against good opponents. And when you're playing opponents like this, I mean, here's kind of the reality of the situation. When you're playing opponents like this, Denver's of the world, Phoenix when they're healthy, Golden State, who's a veteran team, Sacramento, who's a playoff team, especially when you're on the road. It's so tough to come back in these games. And even if you do make a run, which the Lakers did and eventually took the lead, I want to say they went up by 4. And I thought, all right, I think Lakers are probably going to wrap up this game. But even with doing all that, now you're just playing from behind the entire way. It's obviously not an ideal situation for the Lakers. And that part is certainly very, very frustrating. I know a lot of people got some question marks right now about the rotations, which I don't blame you. Some things didn't make all that much sense, and I'll tell you what I'm referring to here. You had a stretch there where Rui Hachimura and Christian Wood, I actually kind of like when those two are in the game together. You had a stretch there where both of those players were contributing and playing some good basketball. And then finally, for the first time, and I was, on Twitter at least, before Rui hit a couple of those threes and got involved on offense and started getting to the free throw line, I asked, where's Rui? Where's Reeves? Where's D'Angelo? And then after that, Rui hit a couple of threes. D'Lo hit a shot. So it was nice to see some contributions. But I was surprised with the idea and the concept of taking Rui out, especially because the Lakers went through a kind of a deep stretch there where they were just having trouble scoring the ball, especially in OT as well. And I know what the Lakers are probably trying to do. They're trying to go a little bit smaller because of all the guards, all the quick guards. I'm talking primarily De'Aaron Fox, Malik Monk, some of these other players, and they're probably trying to match up more to that. But the rotations are all over the place. I don't know who's going to close out the games. And I'm going to see if I could try to find the quote here real quick. But he spent some time, and I'm talking about Darvin Ham, spent some time. The quote that I got here, bucking down, Mike Trudell put out, bucking down on our rotation is the main thing he wants to shore up moving forward. Dave McMenamin put out there, tighten up some of the things that the Lakers are doing from that perspective. But that's the part, no question about it, that was confusing to me. I just did not know what the Lakers were doing rotation-wise. I just did not know, and I think this is the key thing in these first 3 games. Got no idea who's going to close out the game. Got no idea who's going to get the bulk of the minutes. And I think that's something I know that Darvin Ham mentioned that a lot of it is just competition. If he likes the competition that's there, if he likes what's happening, from that perspective, that's a different story. But those rotations were a little bit all over the place again tonight. And it sounds like a big initiative for Darvin Ham. And I think that's good news that that's initiative because these guys got to know when they're playing. These guys got to know they have to have a better idea of if they're closing out the game, when they're coming in. I get it. It's the 3rd game of the season, so I think they're all trying to figure that out. But I thought he took some guys out that were actually performing well. I want to walk through the box score here real quick, and then I'll take a look at some of the comments as well. So AD gave you 30, 16 rebounds, 2 steals, 3 block shots. Shot 50% from the field. Played 42 minutes for the Lakers. Taurean Prince in 2 of these 3 games, including the preseason, I thought did everything he can. Now, I know it's probably not ideal to see Taurean Prince shoot 13 threes in a game. Hit 5 of them. 13 sounds like a lot, and you're hoping that you're hitting them if you're taking that many threes. He had 20 points for the Lakers. LeBron just, you know, couple stats that stand out. He had the 26 and 15 rebounds and 8 assists, also had 8 turnovers and played 39 minutes for the Lakers. So far, this is how the Lakers have used LeBron James, minutes-wise. 29, and then when that first game was over, it's like, yep, that's the plan for the year. Then 35, and now in this third one, 39 as the Lakers going overtime. I mean, maybe they just decided, well, screw it, because tomorrow's back-to-back, and if he's not playing in the back-to-back game, that means he won't play until Wednesday when the Lakers host the Clippers. But nonetheless, that's a lot of minutes for Bron. 8 turnovers is a unbelievable amount of turnovers in the process. But that's those 4 players, or I'm sorry, those 3 players, what they did. And D'Lo, as much as his shot is just, it's not falling, he finally got a few to fall. He did have 9 assists for the Lakers and 17 points. At least he had some buckets going and was a little bit more consistent. Played 40 minutes for the Lake Show. That's what D'Angelo Russell did. I'm going to hold on Austin Reeves for a second because I'm going to do Austin separately. Rui ended up 3 of 6 from the field, 11.6 rebounds, only played 17 minutes. You know what's kind of crazy? Rui Hachimura in the first 2 games was just bad. No other way to put it. And for most of this game, up until that stretch there that he had where he hit a couple of threes, started getting to the free throw line, he was bad too. But, man, he only played 17 minutes. This dude just got paid $51 million, and you thought was going to be playing 30, 35 minutes a night. Played 17 minutes in a game where the Lakers went to OT, went to overtime. There's 53 possible minutes to be playing in tonight's game, and Rui only got 17 of them. Again, leading up to that portion where he actually started hitting some shots, I don't feel like he's been doing too much. Christian Wood in 14 minutes of play gave you 11 points, 5 rebounds, 3 of 3 from the field. I'm in the Christian Wood camp here. I want to see that guy get some more minutes. And Gabe Vincent played 31 minutes, still hasn't hit a 3 for the Lakers. 0 for 2 from the three-point line. Man's got to start hitting some open shots. Look, I know he's going to start hitting some open shots, and I actually think he'll be a really, really nice piece for the Lakers as the season progresses. But Gabe Vincent, D'Lo from the outside, 1 of 5 from the three-point line. Reeves 1 of 6 from the three-point line. They got guys that are supposed to be, hitting their shots that so far in the season have not done it. And like I mentioned, Gabe Vincent has not had a shot. I think he might be 0 for 12 from the three-point line so far this year. Okay. Let me get to some of the comments here. How you doing, Laker fans? I do. Good to see you guys here. Appreciate you guys being a part of the show. Sorry it's coming off an L, Laker fans. It's my apologies there. I'll take full responsibility. We find some comments here I can get into, and then we'll start reading these off. Still a number of topics I want to get into. Francis Mendoza, thank you for the super chat. Ham can learn 1 or 2 things from Mike Brown. I don't know. They went through stretches too. I mean, it's not like Sacramento plays perfect basketball. To be honest with you, what's crazy to me, and De'Aaron Fox just kills the Lakers. 37-8. I was saying this in the pregame show. I spent some time talking about this. I was saying that De'Aaron Fox is one of those players. Because in his last game against the Golden State Warriors, Fox had – what De'Aaron Fox had? Maybe 39, something like 37, 39, whatever he had. But it was in the high 30s. And I said with Fox, if he's going to get his, try to make sure he's not efficient. Well, he was 14 to 24. You can't get any more efficient than that. But if he's going to get his, make sure he doesn't get 8, 9, or 10 dimes on top of that, setting everybody else up. Well, he had 8 dimes. That didn't help. Domantas Sabonis, I thought the Lakers did a pretty good job on. Look, he's going to get his rebounds. He had 15 rebounds. He had 5 assists. Only have 12 points. Keegan Murray gave you 17. Malik Monk, who killed the Lakers tonight as well, former Laker, had 22 points. Listen, they have a way of playing, and there's no way around it. Their style is very simple. They got one of the quickest paces in the NBA, and that's their style. Get up as many shots, push the ball up the floor, try to tire you out. They don't have great length or size, but they have an identity, and that's their identity, and you got to adjust to it. And that's what Sacramento Kings did tonight. Okay, let me read more of these. Fire him. Slow down here, buddy. Slow down. Christian Wood not in overtime is a crime. I'm with you on that one. You know, Christian Wood, maybe people think of it because he came to the Lakers and he was the 14th roster spot, and this is his eighth team. I had 9 guys. 8th team in 8 years. I had to actually look at my hand to see what the hell I was doing. His 8th team in 8 years. I think people maybe don't know fully on what Christian Wood could bring to the table. This is a good place for him. Doesn't have to be, he's not going to be relied on to be to lead a team or be the second high scorer, any of that stuff. It's just kind of get what you can and use your length and your size. I'm with you. I'd like to have seen Christian Wood spend some more time. I'd like to have seen Christian Wood been in the game, at least in, more in that fourth quarter and in OT. KCP and Malik Monk are all-stars now, apparently. Well, apparently against the Lakers, all these guys come out. All right, let's see. We're clearly the better team, but we're not exactly there. I believe in the team. Okay, this is a good one here. Thank you for the chats, by the way, everybody that's pouring these in. What I saw was a quick flashback of how we are clearly the better team, but we're not exactly there yet. I believe in this team, but I will not have D'Lo as my starting point guard. So I got an observation here real quick. Something to keep in mind. One thing that I would keep in mind is this. I'd keep in mind that I do think the Lakers, I heard James Worthy and Derek Fisher talking about it right after the game on Spectrum Sports, and I was waiting to listen to Coach. And they both were saying, look, this is encouraging. They'll be fine. These are correctable mistakes that over time the Lakers will correct these mistakes. I know it's very easy to kind of overreact right after a loss. However, you also just want to see them capitalize. When you got opportunities to win a game, go get that game. When you're in OT, when you force OT, and De'Aaron Fox is on a hobbled ankle and Domantas Sabonis is fouling out of the game, you want to take advantage of that. You want to win games like that. That part to me was what was frustrating. I appreciate the comment there. A lot of this going on right here. A lot of people mad at Darvin Ham. Too many minutes for an L. You're not wrong there. I think who he's talking about is Braun. Braun played 39 minutes tonight, and you got an L. And frankly, think about that Phoenix Suns game. That Suns game, without Devin Booker and without Bradley Beal, the Lakers were down 12 going into the fourth quarter, and they needed LeBron to go off that way just to get their one win so far this year at home against a team that clearly didn't have all their guys. Yes, LeBron had 8 turnovers. I agree. That's crazy. That's a crazy number, by the way. All right, let's see what else we got here. Find a couple more of these. Okay. Yes, Francis, that's the wrong post-game show. We don't light a beam when we lose. Okay? That couldn't write up a play to win the game. Awesome. See, we're going to find a way to blame Braun and AD when Ham couldn't write up a play to win them the game. First off, buddy, I've gone after Darvin Ham. We already did it. I already said the rotations. None of them made sense. And Ham, I'm sure, knows that you're looking at this and you're saying to yourself, I mean, very simply put, you're saying to yourself, all right, well, this is a game that we should win. And I don't know what the rotations are. So I know we're 3 games in, but I genuinely don't know what the rotations are for the Lakers. Okay. I got some more topics I want to get into. Where's Reeves? You guys remember Austin Reeves, plays for the Los Angeles Lakers? He was that dude that just came through for the last couple of years. Austin Reeves has been so bad this year. And I know a lot of people want to blame it on him playing as part of FIBA, and maybe he's already got tired legs, whatever the case is. But, okay, you got some tired legs. 1 of 12 from the field, 1 of 8 from the three-point line, minus 12 in the plus-minus, the worst plus-minus of anybody on the Lakers. Only 5 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 turnovers for Austin Reeves, 28 minutes of play. They had to take Reeves out. They didn't use Reeves at the end of this game. If I'm right, too, I don't think they used Reeves at the end of last game as well. It was Gabe Vincent that was in. He's been really bad. And that's truly, of all the Laker role players, that's the one that I was least concerned with. I was more concerned about Rui. I was more concerned, Gabe Vincent's got to go figure it out. D'Lo, not as concerned. I think D'Lo's numbers are always going to be there. But Austin Reeves, I was not worried about. Not worried about. That's not a player that I had in my mind of, oh my gosh, we got some – Austin Reeves is going to take a second to get going. I can't really – unless it's just tired legs, I genuinely cannot figure out what the poor start for Austin Reeves. He's missing shots. He doesn't look confident. I know this. They're playing him off ball a lot. And I feel like there's going to be some times where you got to let him have the ball just to get into some type of rhythm, just to see the ball go through the hoop. But Austin Reeves has been nowhere to be found. And I'm waiting for him to just have one of those games, and you're like, okay, it's actually kind of funny. He got to the free throw line. I forget who fouled him, but it was a bad play. He got to free throw line. He got 2 free throws. I remember hearing Stu Lance on the broadcast say, well, it's good he's going to get to the free throw line. And that usually happens with a lot of shooters, guys that they just need to see the ball go through the hoop, and then hopefully they can start getting into a rhythm. 1 for 12. He took 8 threes, was 1 for 8. Damn. Between his three-point shooting, Gabe Vincent's three-point shooting, D'Angelo Russell's three-point shooting, I mean, that's really, really hurting the Lakers from that perspective, and kind of getting a little lucky that Taurean Prince has had a couple of good games to do everything that he can to, keep things going for the Lakers. But Reeves has been awful, and I don't really have much of a reason for it, right? Like, I'm trying to figure out, how he could be more effective, and I think it's just, seeing the ball go through the hoop. Okay, let me read more of your comments here. I don't think that is correct. And I don't think that is correct. Did Reeves get the bag and run? No, I really don't think so. Austin can't play without structure. Man, the Lakers out here hooping. Austin needs a scheme, and they don't have one. Well, if there's one theme that I'm taking, can I ask you guys this and be honest? If there's what's the one thing that has stood out so far the most in these 3 losses? Is it poor performance from certain players? Is it coach? Because a lot of the theme that I feel like I'm getting here is a lot of people are upset at Darvin Ham. And then I think the players come secondary, or the rotations, or whatever the case is. Somebody here is putting down effort. But you can feel free to put your comments here, because for me, I think the rotations are a little bit all over the place, and tonight more so than the other 2 nights. But I think there's also a lot of players that have been disappointing. I think D'Lo's been underwhelming. I think Rui's been underwhelming, and I think Gabe Vincent's been underwhelming. I think Austin Reeves has definitely been underwhelming. I think there's a number of guys that I just expected a little bit more from to start off the season. So that portion of it has been frustrating. So basically, I got a lot of people saying that no second options, disarray, poor performance, not ready to go. Rebounding is another one. Bad transitions. Yeah. Is it time to panic already? No, I don't think it's time to panic already. I really don't. I don't think that. I don't think that's the case. I just think that some of these dudes, it's going to eventually turn around. I believe that Austin Reeves is one of those players, and some of these other guys, I think that will be the case as well. So I think it will turn around, but at least for now, that has definitely not been the case so far. All right. I need to save something here. Okay. Let me give my spiel real quick on Underdog Fantasy here real quick. I want to talk about it. So they are a presenting sponsor to my YouTube channel. And it's actually a really cool story with Underdog Fantasy. I reached out to their marketing folks and we kind of started a dialogue and a conversation and went back and forth a little bit. And it made sense for us to partner together. Very excited to have them. They're the first partner that I ever brought on this YouTube channel. And I think it's the perfect audience for it. I want to share my screen with you guys here real quick and walk through with you guys. By the way, I'm going to read more of your comments. And then I want to talk about that Magic game tomorrow and who plays and who doesn't play based upon everything that we're talking about right now. But I have to put my picks in. So let me do that here real quick with you guys, and then we'll get right back into it. So Underdog Fantasy, they are doing a promotion right now. They'll match your first deposit up to $500. So let me tell you what that means. You got to use my code, by the way. Please use HoopsLA. I get credit for it. Trying to get 250 people to sign up between now and the end of the year, just new consumers, and that's anybody that's into daily fantasy sports. If this is not down your alley, all good. But I know there's a lot of people that are into daily fantasy sports. It's really easy. You go to the website. I'll put the link in the comments below, and I'm going to give you an example. Tomorrow there's some games. All right. All I got to do is pick 2 games and basically make a bet. So I'm not going to do Laurie Marketing. Let me find some guys. Let's do Jordan Clarkson. Let me use Jordan Clarkson. At Denver, higher or lower than 16.5 points for Jordan Clarkson tomorrow? I'm going to go lower. All right. That's a former Los Angeles Laker. By the way, I just won my last bet. And then let's go Nikola Jokic. Higher or lower than 26.5 points? I'm going to go higher. That's it. I got my 2 bets in. I'm going to bet $10. I'm going to hit submit. I'm going to hit confirm. I'm done for the day. I got my 2 picks here. The cool thing with this on the deposit match. So if you sign up on the at Underdog Fantasy, use my link or just use my code, and you put in the code HoopsLA, and let's say you put $10 in, they'll match your $10, so you have $20 in your account. Let's say you put $100 in, they'll match you $100, so you have $200 in your account. You can go up to $500. So there are my picks for tomorrow. I don't think they have the Lakers one ready yet because the Lakers just finished, or I would be submitting Laker games. So Clarkson, Nikola Jokic, those are my 2. And that's all I got on that part. So I appreciate you guys taking the time to go through that with me. Okay, let's get back to your comments here. Let's see what we got here. Thank you, buddy. Underdog Fantasy. Thank you, O.C. O'Neill. Okay, let's see what I got here. This is a good one. Every other team's going to their best player when the game is tight. Lakers, for some reason, despite AD having a huge advantage, just go away from him when the game is tight, playing low IQ hoops. You know, Raheel, I couldn't agree with you more with this, and it makes me think of the Kobe days or the Shaq days, or I'll take this a step further. You could Bron throughout his entire career. I always think of players like that just kind of demand the ball, have to have the ball, or your coach saying, whether he's calling for the ball or not, I'm going to feed it to AD 4 or 5 times in a row. Because at the absolute worst, if AD gets the ball and a double team comes, I'm going to kick it out. Somebody's going to get a good shot. A, I don't think the Lakers do that enough. And B, these dudes aren't hitting. They're not hitting their shots. So I think that also really does not help the situation. The fact that the Lakers you got these guys that are not hitting their shots. So whether it's all those players that I named off, but the 3-point shooting has been bad, and this has been something that's obviously been frustrating to watch so far. Yeah, I'm getting a lot of this. It's the coaching, no flow, no cadence. Darvin's not a good head coach. Some guys struggle because of lack of cadence and play calling. Well, listen, last year I thought part of the reason why the Lakers got as far as they did is Darvin Ham had every dude pulling the rope in the same direction. This is a completely different reason. So let's see what happens here moving forward, right? I think you're 1-2. The win you had was you barely had it, and it was against Phoenix. I thought tonight they had winnable opportunities. They didn't have it. And they got to get back on track tomorrow against the Orlando Magic. Speaking of the Orlando Magic, Lakers versus the Magic tomorrow. So I was looking up Orlando just to kind of see what these guys have been doing this year. I know they're 2-0, but they've played two bad teams to be 2-0. So just keep that in mind. They beat the Rockets, beat them by, I think, 40 or 30 or something like that. Let's see, 16, 14, 30. I was off on that one. They beat the Rockets. And they also beat the Blazers by 5. Well, those are two of the worst teams in the NBA. At least we'll see what happens to the Rockets. I know they're off to a bad start, but I thought they'd definitely be more improved. Now the question just comes down to, and while I'm sitting here literally talking, if you guys see anything on Twitter that says LeBron is going to play, he's not going to play for tomorrow, if they made any decisions or anything like that, just type it in the comments and let me know. I just can't do that, obviously, in real time. I think Braun is actually talking as we speak, so just keep an eye out for that if you guys can and communicate it with me. But it's not just, okay, you're playing an Orlando Magic team, and let's say Orlando is not that good. Let's just all run with that. They're not that good. Well, what if Braun doesn't play tomorrow? Then what happens? You know, if LeBron James doesn't play tomorrow, then that's a completely different conversation. If Braun's not going, I don't know if I'm assuming Anthony Davis is going to play. But we've seen what the Lakers have looked like without Braun. Maybe it's good for the Lakers to have a game where Braun's not there and other guys have no choice but to step up. And the luck is that they're playing Orlando and they're not playing the Boston Celtics or the Bucks, right? I don't have a solution for it, but I also really would not be surprised if Braun doesn't go tomorrow. That's what I feel like would happen in that case. If we don't win tomorrow, there's going to be chaos. Could be. It's the Lakers. It's always chaos. LeBron, I'll bet Franklin that LeBron doesn't play tomorrow. That could very, very well be the case, Laker fans. It could very well be the case. Yeah, I just keep refreshing some of these Dave McMenamins, Mike Trudells, and stuff like that just to see if they put anything out there on Braun, and I have not seen anything. So we'll see what happens, and maybe it's as simple as Braun is just going to test on how he feels tomorrow. Okay, Laker fans, I think that is all I got here. I appreciate you guys being a part of the show. Went a solid half hour there or so. I'm going to go have some cereal, and then I'm going to call it a night, and we're going to go from there. I know, the cereal thing's got to come. Can we just start playing some better basketball? I really thought tonight they were going to win. I really, really did believe that. I thought, you know what? Lakers will be okay tonight. Then when they get the game to overtime, Lakers are going to win in OT. Freaking sitting there watching this squad lose again. They're 1-2. Final score tonight, Kings over the Lakers, 132-127 in overtime. Appreciate you guys being a part of the show. Thank you for being a part of the live stream. If you could please subscribe to the channel, would greatly appreciate it. Thank you, Lake fans. Hope you guys have a good rest of your night. Get back with you guys tomorrow.